Today we're continuing the series to see how far we can get with only one tower and hero of choice. The first round here I'm just going to tank so I can get Benjamin as soon as possible. Now we should probably start off by talking a bit about the choice of hero here. Most episodes will end up using Isili because of her hex, but there will be some exceptions, and I think this is one of them. I think in this one you might be better off with either Benjamin or Geraldo because you might need the cash to buy more Dartling gunners. And the reason I say that is because I did some testing in Sandbox and I found that at round 140 plus, you can still take down the bads without using Isili. And rounds with a lot of fortified DDTs, that's really where the trouble is. So because of that, I'm thinking we would do better with having more money to add more towers to have more raw damage. So then we will have an easier time dealing with DDTs, and bads should be even easier to deal with. And as for the choice between Benjamin and Geraldo, there's a couple of things that I had to think about. Number one is that the action figure of Geraldo has been nerfed twice in recent updates, so it now costs less, which is a bad thing because that means it will snowball slower. Number two, we're playing on easy mode, which means the action figure is at its cheapest, which is worst case scenario for us. But still, if you were to try and up the difficulty, all the towers would cost more and the balloons move faster at harder difficulties, so that's not really an option. And number three, Benjamin has recently been buffed like crazy in terms of his income generation, maxing out at 5k per round at level 17. And as a little bonus, Benjamin does have his Trojan, which usually people don't like because that decreases your income generation. But for us, late game it will actually be pretty useful. Reason being, of course, that when a Trojan hits a BFB, for example, that BFB will no longer spawn any children. And that's why I chose this exact placement, because his Trojan will not be able to attack the start of the track, but he will be able to attack here. So he's not gonna steal too many balloons, he's not gonna make us lose a lot of money with the Trojan early game. But late game, when balloons start really making it far, he will still be able to send out his Trojan. And lead balloons, thank God, I just about had enough money for that upgrade. I'm thinking I probably want to start off by getting one of each tier 5. This one ending up as the Mad, this one as the Ray of Doom. I was kind of hesitant on the placement. I mean, you want to place it as far back as possible in terms of getting more damage on the straight line, but also if you do that you won't be able to micro him to target this area here if you need to. The bottom path tier 5 I'm gonna build right here in the center so that it can attack throughout the whole track, because that one I'm just gonna keep on independent targeting. But once I've gotten each and every tier 5, which tier 4s should I be placing? For that we're just gonna conduct a simple test in Sandbox. Just one fortified bad, and we will compare the damage between all three tier 4s. The Rocket Storm did extremely poorly, but the top path did quite good, but the best one was actually the bottom path. But unfortunately we can't go for the bottom path, because the bottom path, cross-pathed like this, cannot see camo and cannot pop lead, and even if you do cross-path it like this, it can still not pop lead, so that's not good. As I mentioned, one of the big reasons for going with Benjamin instead of Isili is because we need more money to build more towers to damage DDTs. So even though the bottom path did a little bit more damage than the top path, we're still gonna go with the top path for sure. For multi-target, we're doing 20 fortified bads. And in this test we have 31,000, 25 and 104,000, so even more support for the top path. Speaking of which tower can pop which type of balloons, the Ray of Doom can pop everything, so I think we're gonna try to save up to that one right away. Not only can it pop everything, but it's got such an amazing spot on this map, so if we can afford that one first, we could just go AFK and save money for a while. I also just remembered that I did a video like, I don't know, 2 months ago or something, that they actually buffed the top path, or rather a monkey knowledge that has to do with the top path. And that was a buff to those plasma pools when you cross the streams. I can't really remember how big of a buff it was, but it was pretty significant. Oh, and look at this. We only need to pay 125 to increase our cash generation, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And there we go. Now we have all the cash we need. And now we can probably go AFK for a bit. Yeah, I mean, now we can even afford the MAD, so now we can go AFK again. And here I'm probably gonna catch some shit in the comments about my choice of crosspath here. Instead of having the increased accuracy, I went for the additional pierce. Now, the pierce increase is not huge. Normally, the tower has 12 pierce and explodes up to 6 times. But with the bottom crosspath, it has 14 pierce and explodes up to 7 times. So yes, the extra pierce is not huge, but it is there, and later I'm thinking I'm gonna move this guy to target here instead of here, so he's not gonna have as much use of the increased accuracy anyway, and the super dense rounds later is gonna cap out his pierce. So, and if you think I'm wrong about that, then you're probably right. So now Ben has reached level 20 a while ago, and he's pumping out 5k a round, plus whatever he gets from skimming, I guess. I mean, Ben has this ability called Siphon Funding. Last 20 seconds, every cash per pop is tripled, but it downgrades all the bloons that spawn by 1. So a BFB would spawn as a regular blue Moab instead. So using this ability is like only worth it sometimes, which is pretty annoying. Man, I wish they changed that ability so that it's like always worth using, but it has a super long cooldown so that you really wanna pick and choose when you use it to maximize your profit. So that people actually use that ability. I mean, does any one of you use that ability? I never do. Like, the only time I've ever seen that ability used was in some least tiers event, which, like, the defense was about to lose, and some pro boss player used that ability in order to survive the round, and that was pretty cool. But in terms of making money, I don't really see anyone using that stuff. Let's begin with the tier 5 right in the center as promised, and we're gonna go top path because after a update not too long ago, that is the best path for damage. And I might as well start placing these tier 4s because there's no point in waiting really. We are about to get ourselves a little taste of DDTs at 138 here, a very brutal DDT round. But I think with all of these top path tier 4s, there is absolutely no way that we lose. Okay, well, as you can see, they are making it around the second loop, a bunch of them, but not too much further, and I'm not even targeting them with all of these. If I do this, yeah, look at that. And I wiggle the mouse around to create as many plasma pools as I can. That makes a huge difference, dude. Wow. Yeah, just look at the crazy amount of plasma pools that this can create. And after they got buffed, I mean, being able to do that in a spot like this on this map, that can really make a difference. Oh, 140. Let's see if we can take down the fortified one. Oh, wow. Dude, that thing is melting. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's what I mean. Like, we don't really need Isili if we can get a ton of tier 4s. But now we're at 140 plus, so this means bads almost every round and DDT rushes almost every round as well. At this point I'm starting to get quite a lot of bad bloons each round as well, so I feel like probably around 160 is where I'm gonna run into some tough round with a lot of bads and like late DDT rushes. Man, using this tower is so weird because the plasma balls are so effective, but if you just hold your mouse still, you get none. So you basically just have to wiggle it like this all the time. Such a weird form of micro. And it looks like I'm gonna have to use an ability here because I am almost dying to this round. Wow, that is a lot of bads. Wiggle, oh my god. Okay, so that was the closest round so far. Feeling pretty confident about my choice in hero, because Ben so far has generated 400k. So without him, we really would not have a lot of tier 4s. So I don't think we would have made it this far. Uh-oh. Oh, that was scary. Okay, at least we made it to 163. That's pretty cool. Don't need to micro anything for this round. Well, bads are popping all the way down here now on rounds that are busy. So 170 something might not be a bad guess. Oh. I'm actually almost dead here. Those Moabs almost passed me by. Jesus Christ. This first one is gonna be fine, but the second one is the one I'm more concerned about. Oh shit. I really have to focus the tier 4s on the insides, otherwise it just doesn't work. Oh my god, pop this one fast! Oh my god. I can do that though, I can do that. So basically you have to start the round by not microing the rod or the mad, because they are doing the best that they possibly can do right now while being targeted on their own. But then later you have to switch to microing. And we're gonna start microing those slightly earlier than last time, and that slight difference should be all we need. If not, we might be able to use siphon funding to pass this round. And I forgot that I need to target those. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try siphon funding right away. Okay, so this way we're getting a lot of BFB spawns instead of ZOMGs, and that's gonna make a huge difference. I mean, we might not even have to micro the rod or mad. That's how big of a difference that's gonna make. Yeah, I mean, look at this. All of a sudden now we have 2 bads and nothing else, and we're gonna pop them like very early. This is... wow, okay. Another huge reason to use this particular hero for this challenge. The great thing too about that ability is that the cooldown, I don't think it's too bad, so I think we should be able to use 1 every round. And that will definitely push us a bit further. I feel like I notice more lag whenever I use the siphon ability. Should that really be a thing? Okay, so just using siphon funding allowed me to target the bads more effectively, so I'm not even gonna need to micro the rod or mad. Nice. Such an incredible ability. I changed my mind completely about that ability throughout this video. I am gonna go ahead and get 1 middle path back here, and the reason is when those bads pop late, those DDTs inside, if we don't have the mad ability up, I do want to have another one for the stuns. Oh my god, I just leaked again? Okay, I'm just gonna tank that, whatever. I gotta say, I'm getting sick and tired of this, you know, wiggling the mouse around the kind of micro. I did not anticipate when I started this challenge that my hand would be hurting at the end of it. Come on, man. I'm dead to those DDTs, okay. I think I'm fine though if I just save my siphon funding, because that one downgrades fortified DDTs to like fortified regrow ceramics or something. Okay, use it right now. And yeah, look. Basically takes out an entire wave of DDTs. Wow. There's a lot of bads here, but thankfully they are very grouped up, so should still be fine. Not gonna risk it, so I'm gonna go ahead and micro both my tier 5s right away. Yeah, should be fine, and we do have the tier 4 ability, like so. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I want to have one of those in the back. Nice. Oh, please don't die to the insides here. Oh. How many times have I leaked now? I think that's the 3rd time, so now I'm down to 42 lives. That's pretty insane, actually, that I've leaked 3 times, and yet I live. Okay, this round had a lot of bads, and bads really are the main problem now, so... Oh, wait, okay, no. There is no shot that we're beating this round. I mean, look at those two bads at the end there. They're barely damaged. Look, we're not even surviving the first one. Wow. Okay, but with better ability timings and more careful micro, we do manage to pop that bad in front of these two. But now question is, will we survive the insides here? I use mad ability here. Okay, and now we have the second rocket storm for the other DDTs. And oh my god, we're not even gonna pop this bad, are we? Oh no. Oh, and the lag is crazy, dude. No, it's not happening. Pretty close though. That was as close as I could get it with a couple of attempts, but I could not beat the round. So 183 rounds with only Dartlings and a hero of choice. Quite a bit above my expectations, to be honest. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.